When companies make a surplus, it's usually retained either by the company or paid out to the working shareholders. If it's retained in a company, this tax is taken out at 28% and it's transferred through to retained earnings. So let's say for the current year, we have a $100,000 profit. That's taxed at the company rate of 28%. So $28,000 is taken in tax, meaning $72,000 is moved to retained earnings. What exactly is retained earnings? Well, we could go into a philosophical debate about it, but frankly, it should represent the difference between the assets of the company and the liabilities of the company. But when you come to distribute that, you need to look at it needs to be paid out by way of a dividend. So if we move over to the balance sheet, on this simple philosophy, we should have $100,000 in the bank, a liability to the IRD for $28,000, and we should have $72,000 of retained earnings. When we pay the retained earnings out, we do it by way of a dividend. Now, dividends have tax deducted at source of 33%. And for those of you who are astute with mathematics, you'll work out that 28 minus 33 leaves 5%. That's often what's referred to as DWT, or dividend withholding tax. So when you go to pay a dividend out, $72,000 is paid out with a further 5% deducted for dividend withholding tax. So if your advisors are talking with you about paying out a dividend, if it's a very large dividend, there's often a further tax component to it, and normally that 5% DWT is deducted. And that's why it's important to analyse every year to look at paying out dividends to make sure that these retained earnings and imputation credits don't grow. Because while it might seem like an academic exercise, over time these can grow and give you a very large tax impost that's going to be there when you go to pay out the dividend. And then things change. We're currently sitting in a 39% tax environment for over $180,000. If we paid a $100,000 dividend on top of a $100,000 salary, the 5% DWT is not going to cut the mustard. So now's the time to sit back and consider possibly a dividend policy or a dividend plan for your company, and looking at how we balance the payout of the profits generated in each financial year.